Hi, my name's Sarah Elhasny. I am, 22 days away from having surgery. I'm having surgery August 15th, 2016. I'm having gastric bypass Roux-en-Y surgery and decided that I'm just going to kind of document my journey. I'm just going to kind of give some background on myself. I don't know if anybody's going to watch this, but so I am 30 years old. I have been overweight probably all of my life. Shout out to moms for giving birth to like a ginormous baby. I'm sure I was. But, yes, I've been overweight pretty much all my life. I didn't really realize that I was overweight until I was an adult, I guess, or like high school, older than that. And what I mean by that is that, when I was younger, I was very active, played probably every sport there was, soccer, softball, which I was amazing at. I was just very active. I don't really remember ever really being picked on or anything like that as a kid. I mean, there are like isolated incidents where like, obviously I was called fat, but it really wasn't as a whole that I was like teased or anything. I think more as an adult. It's been harder for me and as an adult to be overweight than it was as a kid. As a kid, I was outside all day, every day. I grew up in, obviously I'm 30, so I grew up in like the 90s when, all you did was play outside. When the street lights came on, like you went home. So I was outside all the time. When I got into middle school, my parents decided that they were going to move us to like a more suburban area. Obviously, when you're a kid going from elementary school to middle school is, hard for anybody. Anyways, I went to the new school, and this is like probably the one thing that I remember about being teased. It was my first year there. We were in the cafeteria, and one of the kids came up to me. It was a boy, and he asked me, just like flat out asked me what was wrong with me. I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean what's wrong with me? And he's like, did you fail a grade or something? No, what does that mean? He's like, you're just so big. And I remember that being like such a big deal for me. Like I can like literally picture it in my head right now. I remember I came home from school and I was just like lost it. Like I lost my shit. Because I don't really think that like before that I knew that like I was different. So I can remember like crying and like flipping out to my mom, telling her I was never going back to school. But obviously I did. But that's the type of thing like every random once in a while. As an adult, not necessarily being teased, kind of the first go-to when anytime you get into an argument or something with somebody or, steal their man or something like that, the first thing they say is that I'm a fat bitch. And it's like, okay, like if that's the worst thing that you have to say about somebody, that they're fat, it's like, I'd rather be fat than evil. So I've always been very confident, whether it be like in my personal life or professional. I'm very outgoing. I'm kind of loud. I'm silly. But at the same time, I have serious complex issues that have started more as an adult than, growing up. So that's something that I'm dealing with now. So I decided probably about a year ago that I wanted to get the surgery. I had done a lot of like research into it and had been thinking about doing it for a while. And then one of my girlfriends had the surgery last July, and she's like had remarkable results with it. And I think it just kind of changed her life as a whole. After seeing her go through that, I just decided that I would look into it too. So kind of once you start the process, there's really no turning back. Obviously, it takes a long time. My surgery is August 15th. I started kind of my journey with it last September. It's been almost a year. It's a lot of work as far as mentally more than physically. And I think they do that because they want to like weed the people out that aren't serious about it. I went to probably about 30 doctor's appointments. You have to take a 300 question true or false questionnaire about like your mental state. You have to go see a psychologist, a nutritionist, a doctor that checks your weight like once a week. So it's very mentally like exhausting for you to realize kind of how did I get to that point where surgery is kind of like my only option. Obviously I've tried like every weight loss thing there could ever be. I mean, even as a kid, I remember my mom took me to like this fat camp. And this wasn't necessarily a fat camp. It was this thing at Children's Hospital where we would go and like your parents were involved and like you would talk about your weight or talk about why you ate. I mean, I remember doing that as a kid. I can't remember how old I was, but I think my parents just wanted me to not be in this position now. But I've done literally every workout. I had a personal trainer. So this for me is not the easy way out. And I know that a lot of people think that weight loss surgery is kind of like somebody copping out or taking the easy way out. But for me, it's not. This is kind of like not necessarily my last ditch effort, but I feel like I just need like a restart button. That's kind of what this surgery is for me, hopefully. The reason for doing the documentary or documenting my journey, I kind of just want to, number one, do it for myself to like have like, before and after and be able to see how things go. And number two, I want anybody that's worried about like, thinking about maybe starting the process, like what they're going through or what's going to happen, kind of give them an idea. I'll be as detailed as possible. If, you kind of want to know like what happens during the process, just, I guess, I don't know if there's like comments or whatever below. You can like leave them there and I'll be more than happy to answer them. But I mean, just kind of, giving people like a inside to what happens. 22 days away from my surgery. So I'm going to try to do a video at least once a week. It's basically for me to document my changes and just kind of keep myself motivated, I guess. I don't really know if I should put in here about like my weight and things like that, but my starting weight when I started the process, and I don't think I've literally ever said this number out loud. So it's a huge deal for me, not only that I'm saying it out loud, but that I'm going to share it with the rest of the world or the 5 people that decide to watch. But I started at 325. I don't know if I really look like I'm 325 or what somebody that the weight of 325 pounds looks like. Like, that's mind blowing. I am like 5'7". I obviously have pretty ginormous boobs, probably at least 100 pounds right here. No, just kidding. Most of my weight is in my belly. And it's just there. I don't think I have like a overly obese looking body. I don't know. I guess in my brain I look different than what I really am, because when I see full size pictures of myself, I'm like, that's not really me, but that's me. Like, that's not how I see myself in my brain. I'll do some like before and after shots, obviously. Aaron's already seen my entire naked body. So, I kind of, he's my best friend, so I kind of just, I'm all out with it. So yeah, he's the one helping me make the videos. That's it for now.